Greetings, travelers. Welcome to In the Cafe on Channel 42. Today we have a very, very wonderful special guest, an old school player. He's new to the cafe, and we're very happy to feature him and to get to know him today. Welcome, BasillicanChain.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I think I butchered your name a little bit. Maybe you could
Just
tell
a
us.
tad, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
So, all right. So please do tell. How is it pronounced? We have Basilican.
It's BasillicanChain.
There we
Yeah.
go. Okay, so I have butchered
Yeah.
it terribly
So,
there.
just a bit. It's fine.
I'm going to redo that. That was terrible. I'm not
No,
gonna
it's
put-
fine. It's fun. Leave it go. That's much better. Sorry, someone started calling me Basil on the site already. So on the community, someone's already put down Basil. So it doesn't get worse than that. So
Doesn't
don't worry.
get worse. All right, then we'll,
No.
we'll consider keep on going. We've got.
That's fine.
I like your outfit today. We've got the. I guess it's the Birdman face that you've got.
Yeah. I've sort of settled on that. I don't know. I think it's well, it looks like beard to me, so that's fine. So I've just gone with that
I like
to
that.
reflect.
It's
Yeah.
you know what? It's somewhat rare. I don't see a lot of players
No,
donning that outfit.
no, you don't.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's got the feathers, and it kind of looks like a beak, and then the really cool eyes. That is something really awesome. I like that.
Yeah, it was quite cool because there's 10 different eyes you can have.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Those ones are really neat, almost reptilian.
They are reptilian. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were done as reptilian eyes. So
Very cool.
Mhm.
I noticed you're also wearing that sort of a green and black sort of outfit. Is that a color scheme that you rock?
it is, yes. It's a bit of a tribute to a band that I was still am heavily into.
Yes.
Um,
Which one?
Typo Negative.
Okay, I'm not familiar with them. Are they a new alternative band or what?
No, they're an old metal band, but
Oh.
they've been out of commission now for a few years. But yeah, it was all black and green with them, so I've just sort of gone with it.
Very
Freighter is
cool.
the same color as well now, so yeah.
Well, I like that, how you've sort of, given yourself a theme based on, one of your favorite things in your own personal
Yeah.
life and adventures. That's really awesome. So that brings me to my first question here. Whereabouts do you live?
I live in Wales in the UK, just outside Cardiff, the capital. So
Okay.
yeah,
How's the weather
little
out
old
there
Wales.
this time of year?
Um, as usual, it's raining. It has been raining today. Uh, I'm on a week off as well now, so it's probably going to rain every day. But it's on and off. It's been really good lately, but not so good today.
Oh, that's
And
a
at the
bit of a
moment, it's
shame.
pitch black outside, obviously, because it's 20 past 10 at night here.
It is a little bit like, yeah,
That's
there's a time difference here between
just a
yourself.
bit, just a little bit. Yeah.
I'm way, way West Coast, and you're, UK time. It's about an 8-hour difference, I think. So,
Yeah, I
yes.
think it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, we're lucky today. We have some sun, but usually it's rain in
Nice.
Vancouver. So I know how you feel about that rain in the summer, and you just want to get out
Yeah.
and enjoy yourselves. So
Yeah.
how long have you lived in Wales?
Oh, born and bred. So
Oh wow,
over 40 years, should we just say,
my goodness.
but
Okay.
less than 50. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's about where I am in age as well.
Yeah, let's
over
just leave it at
40
that.
and below 50, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
You can take a
Yeah, I'm
guess.
Yeah.
It's really funny. There's an awful lot of old school NMS players.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's nostalgic that it brings to each and every one of us when we play. It was the things that are in the game are from old recognizable science fiction themed movies and comics and things like that we've all grown up with, and I think that
Yeah.
really is a huge draw. It was for me when Sean Murray first advertised it that several years ago. Several I'm saying now, and it's been quite
Yeah.
a while. So how long have you been playing No Man's Sky?
Day one.
Day one.
But I've got to be honest, it was a short-lived love affair initially. I really got quite jaded with it quite quickly. I think as a lot of people did, I didn't really give it the time to settle in, so I did have probably a few months away from it. And then a friend of mine who's also a day one player had sort of kept on with it and convinced me to give it another go. And as I say, that was 2,000 hours ago on this save. and there's
Um,
another 3 saves like that alongside.
yeah, that's amazing. Myself as well, I'm a day one player. I never did take a break. I just sort of kept
No.
playing and exploring the community and finding, great things. Um,
Yeah.
what I found for me was Amino was a great community to be a part of, and I had
Mm.
a lot of fun meeting and enjoying the whole community aspect of things.
Yeah.
Now you were also part of a bit of a community as well. You were part of the coordinate exchange, and you worked for those, or at least exchanging coordinates with everyone.
Yeah, I did. I did quite a bit of S-class multi-tool hunting,
Hmm.
and posted quite a few that I'd found
Oh
up on
wow.
there. So did a bit of that for a while, but you tend to get, how can I put it politely? There's a lot of people out there who will keep on and on and on about various aspects of what you found. You just get a bit tired of it in the end. So to be honest, I haven't posted anything on there now for probably about 4 months,
Oh
4 or
dear.
5 months.
Well,
I found a
sometimes
few.
you need a break.
Yeah, funny enough, I was just at a party now with the guy I was telling you about, Miyamoto. And we were talking because he's posted on there as well, and it just seems to have got a bit regimented on there. I think is the word I'm looking for. It's not so free flowing anymore. So
Right. A little bit of regulation
you know,
sometimes is helpful. Moderating
yeah, but
activity and so on.
yeah, I agree, but it can get a bit too.
Yeah, I don't use the
It's
coordinate
very
exchange often.
no,
A lot of the stuff we find and sort of share amongst ourselves with our own wiki base on the Amino.
yeah.
Sometimes we use it when we can't find something we're looking for, or if there's something specific, or there's a hunt on.
Hmm. Oh,
It's a
it's a
great thing
great.
to have. It is. It's a
Yeah, it
great
is. It is
resource.
great.
Um,
It is
a-
great.
and I'm glad that there's different parts of the community that have different things. The coordinate exchange
Mm.
it's an entirely different community of its own,
Yeah.
as is Amino and Discord as well. Although Discord and Amino have similar links, there's a lot of people that use
Mm.
cross both platforms, like myself. There's Reddit. I believe Facebook is still a medium platform that is used. There's a
Hmm.
few out there, and I like how the communities have done different things with their platforms to
Yeah.
try and suit the needs, right? Um,
Yeah.
if you'll excuse me for just a moment, I remembered real quickly I left the music playing. We can't have that, so I'm going to break momentarily and kill that.
Okay.
My apologies.
Fine.
All right, let's deal with that. There we go. That's going to be better. Perfect. All right, back to the show. Um, my apologies on the interruption there. All right, so the coordinate exchange, that's where you got, is that where you've been like since day one, or have you sort of progressed or migrated there over the years?
Yeah, it was a bit of a migration, really. It was something that I sort of embarked on alone. It was something that when I got home from work, you could just immerse yourself in it, and it was nice to have that quiet time. And I think my first tentative steps into a community was with the coordinate exchange, and then it sort of didn't really fulfill what I was looking for. So of course, along came you guys, uh, and that was through the article I read in Eurogamer. Um,
Wow.
yeah, that's. I
Exciting
was sat in
times.
work. It was. I was sat in work and read it and thought, yeah, I need to be a part of that. And of course, that's when I got in touch with you guys.
Well, we're happy to have you, and you've got a
Right,
fine
thanks.
base at Unity One. I've visited a couple of times, one in its older state, and I think you're rebuilding and redesigning the second time I stopped by. Um, and so I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing the finished product once that's uploaded. I know there was a stall with the update, and a
Yeah.
lot of things
Just a
were
little
sort
bit.
of, yeah, a little messed up.
Yeah.
But it's fixed now, at least most of it. And we could all start building again and enjoying what we like to do. Because you're an old school player. One thing that I definitely took notice was you love to farm those pearls, and you had them
Yeah.
all over your base. I remember those days when
They
we used to
were.
have
Yeah.
like rows and rows and rows and rows of pearls,
I know.
and that's how we made money.
It was.
Yeah, every
Yeah, it
day I'd
was.
visit my freighter, load up, sell them, and then go about my business. It was like a daily farming routine.
Well, it was. Yeah, it was. Just to go back and think, oh, they're all up again. Yeah, let's harvest that and go and make some money. I mean, everybody's gone now onto Nip Nip, haven't they? It's all gone that way, and it just sort of harks back to the sort of
Yeah, well,
humble beginnings of.
they're not worth as much as they once were, and so like there's higher ticket items now that you can craft that
Yeah.
are worth far more, and so farming isn't really as profitable as it once
No.
was, but it is still fun to have a little farm and have the products around for building components. I'm not sure. Are you like a lot of other people where you have a little farm in your freighter that you can sort of raid once in a while?
Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, it's a huge farm up in the freighter. It's stupidly big. Um, yeah, but the trouble is for me, I scrapped an S-class hauler and got the AI valves, and of course they're worth 50 million each,
Yes.
and, and I've ended up with quite a lot of them. So of course you max your credits out before you know it, and really that takes away a bit of the fun of the farming, trying to get to the upper reaches of monetary value that you can get hold of. But yeah,
Well,
it's still nice to nip back up there and pillage some stuff from my own freighter. Yeah, it's great.
yeah, it has changed the game because farming was a
Mm.
part of the game for so long.
Yeah.
In fact, farming is a part of the game in many senses. In the beginning, we were farming for ships, trying to get
Yeah.
the 48 slots, and
Mm.
then there was farms to make money. So we're farming for money, and then they're farming for
Yeah.
nanites, and now it's farming for quicksilver and trying to do as many missions as you can. And now I believe there's a few places you can find coordinates for the stellar ice anomaly, I think they call it, where
Oh.
yeah, and I believe you have a 1 in 6 chance, I think, of finding the quicksilver deposit that it gives you, and you can reliably reload over and over and over again, and not reload, but go back and forth, and
Yeah.
1 in 6 chance get more, I think 100 quicksilver, but it beats waiting a couple of days for a few missions to stack up. So there's different ways
Yeah.
of getting it. Currently, we're
Mm.
looking for a place in Unity 1 where one spawns dependably. And I haven't found it quite yet, but hopefully
Oh.
soon. There's lots of great
Yeah.
resources out there. It's just a matter of finding them. Um,
Yeah, and that's the nice thing, isn't it, when you just stumble across something?
yes.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like what because you've done so much farming, you've done all the things since day one and everything. What do you like to do in the game? Like what drives you every day, kind of thing?
Do you know what? That's a really tough question to answer because I couldn't actually tell you. But I know that not a day goes by where I won't play. I tend to, at the moment, the Desolation update for me has been amazing because I've been really enjoying that.
It,
Um,
it's a great new storyline, and I like
it's
how they
great.
put a little
It's
horror
absolutely,
into it.
yeah, it's great. It really is. But I tend to just have a look around for some S-class weapons, because that's quite a nice find when you go into a space station and find something, and then you got to go and find it on the planets. Um, I've been known to hang around trading posts for a particular ship to come in for maybe 24 hours just to get the particular ship I'm after. And there's
Nothing
also
new
the
there.
pleasure of just, yeah, exactly. We've all done it.
Oh yes.
There's also the pleasure of just picking a place on the cosmos, hitting the warp and going and seeing what you find. And, you find some amazing vistas that really take your breath away in the game. And I think that's the main draw for me is that when you're in the game, in the moment, you're not thinking about anything else. You're just enjoying what's in front of you on the screen, and it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's so many things that you can be doing.
Mm.
You mentioned S-class hunting or farming for multi-tools before. Is that is that one of your favorite things that you like to do? Just fly around and see what multi-tools you can find?
Yeah, it's quite funny really because I'm actually this guy Miyamoto. We're online every night doing this, and I sort of think we keep each other going with it because I'll be finding something, and the pleasure of saying that I found something when he hasn't, he's getting quite frustrated with it, and vice versa. We tend to sort of spar off one another with it. And we've been doing that for a couple of years now. So
Well, that's kind of a fun way of doing it.
It is.
I know
It's really
sometimes
worked.
it can be a
Yeah.
solo venture of
Mm,
looking for that multi-tool,
yeah.
but doing it with a friend is a little bit more fun because you can sort of split planets, and
Yeah.
you do one planet, I'll do another, and
Yeah.
ideas bounce on how you think you might have
Yeah.
locked onto something. You never know.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, to be honest, we don't do that. It's just the fact that he'll be in his game and I'll be in mine, just sharing a party, and then I'll find something in my game, and I'll go look for that. And while he's still sort of floundering around in the darkness trying to find something that he wants to go and look for, and vice versa. But if we do find something that we both like, obviously we'll share it then and go from there. You know, he's just found an alien with the incinerator on it, which was a really nice find.
That's really cool. I know
Yeah,
there's a few of them around.
yeah.
There's a couple of good multi-tool hunters around. Genetic Code, he found a whole bunch of them over in the
Mm.
Unity one area. One of them has the incinerator in there, which is really kind of cool. That one's the
It is.
experimental, so we haven't found an alien
Oh,
one yet. Yeah, it's experimental. It's yellow and it's got these teeth sticking out. You know the one I'm talking about?
oh, another one. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. If you're interested, there's a wiki in the Amino that you definitely pick that one up.
I'll, I
Yep.
will go. I will go and have a look. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
And so far that's the only one that we found that has the incinerator.
Mm.
Which brings me to my next question is what do you think of this new update, the Desolation? You mentioned you like it. What are the
Oh, yeah.
key things that are just blowing your mind?
It's a complete departure from what you'd expect from No Man's Sky. It's totally removed the chill out sandbox experience that you're so used to having, uh, and it's taken on a bit of a darker twist just for that small segment of the game. And I think it gives you that complete break from the norm of it if you want to go down that route.
Oh,
You know,
definitely.
there was so much they could have done in space, and it was never really picked on. They sort of concentrated on other things. So as a first foray into it, I think it was absolutely amazing because it was quite frustrating. I'm sure you'll agree when you'd be pulsing along and an anomaly would pop up, and it would be a freighter, and there's nothing you can do except shoot the two cargo pods and get your two or 300 um,
Was it chromatic metal?
chromatic metal, wasn't it,
Yeah.
out of him? But you couldn't do anything else with it. It was quite meaningless. So to actually get one that you can land on and go and have a look around, and
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
great.
Hey,
And it's very atmospheric in there. The way they've done it with the lighting and everything, it really is brilliant.
yeah, it's improved upon the game, and it gives you that really creepy thing. A couple of things I wanted to sort of mention was, a couple of updates back now. We're talking a couple of years now. They introduced the derelict space stations, or
Yeah,
abandoned space stations, and I think that
yeah,
was a real taste of what could be. They sort of use that and adapt. You put the freighters involved, and then put living creepy things, crawling around in there to make it, a little bit more scary. And I think they
yeah,
can do that with the space stations that they currently have, the abandoned space stations now as well. It would be an easy little switch to just throw those in there. But
yeah.
it was real
I
creepy the first time I boarded a freighter, and it was dark. And of course,
yeah,
you get turn your flashlight on, and you're walking
yeah,
around, and everything is slight angle, you know.
hmm,
Um,
yeah.
very creepy,
And the
very
the
yeah.
abandoned ships in there. You walk into the hangar and there's the ships in the darkness and things there. It's just absolutely brilliant.
It was,
You know?
yeah. I was not expecting to see some of that stuff, and
No,
I was
no.
very pleasantly surprised and creeped out at the same time.
Yeah, it is. It is. But going back to what you're saying with the space stations, I've sort of really hoped at some point that they would bring an update in where you can actually, if you find one, you can actually purchase it
Okay, high
and
five,
bring
high
it into
five
a
moment.
base.
Yep, high five. Yep.
It's got to be done.
I
You know?
have said that for years. I want to
Yeah.
build my own freighter, and I want to build or purchase and refurbish my own space station so I can have my own hub kind of thing, right? I think
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
you find an abandoned one, you should be able to, repair it at, of course, ridiculous costs and
Yes.
resources,
Exactly.
but it should. I think it should be possible,
Yeah,
um,
it's
and I agree with you 100%. I've said that for a while now, and I'm glad that you
mm,
see it too. That you want that as well. That's
yeah.
because one and one make two, and that's two of us right now that want it. So HG,
Yeah,
if
that
you're
would be.
listening,
Yeah, let's just get it done now.
exactly. Yeah, I'd love for that to be able to,
Yeah,
to fix or repair a space station and call it my own and claim it. And
yeah,
it would be just like a base, only it's a space station, right?
yeah. I mean, that could be a
And
huge tangent in the game for people who do that. I mean, if you've
oh
got the
yeah,
4 point whatever billion credits, I mean, there's nothing more you could do with them. Let's just do that. Let's just
well,
buy a
it's
space
right,
station.
and it's a space station, so you make your money back. I mean,
Yeah,
hell, that's where trade happens. For most part,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea, and I think HG should explore that in some of the future updated as well. Or maybe you have to, totally clear the space station of all the bugs and infestations,
yeah,
before
yeah.
you
Like
can
that's
purchase it, or,
yeah,
or even those derelict freighters. Maybe you want that derelict freighter, so you got to clear it of all its bugs, so you got to repair it, and get it
oh yeah, that'd
going.
be
That
yeah,
that would be kind
definitely.
of neat, I
It
think.
would.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, because everybody's been saying they want more than one freighter anyway, because they want more than 6 ships. So if you can just get one of those, and you've got to repair that, and then you can get your ships on there.
Yeah, yeah, they
Brilliant
may
stuff.
have,
Yeah.
maybe a lesser warp drive, or maybe there's a disadvantage to having a, repaired freighter as opposed to a brand new
Yeah.
one. I don't know,
Hmm.
but HG has got some really interesting ideas on how they could implement it, I'm sure, and I'd love to see some of those in the
Yeah.
game. That
I
that that
agree.
would really definitely make my day. It was great to see them do something with the freighters. It's
Yeah.
needed a breath of fresh air for so long. We've only
Mm.
had really the two styles of the max sized freighters, and for the longest time, it was just they were a convenient garage. Which size garage do you want? Do you want
Yeah.
that looks like a Star Wars battle cruiser, or do you want the big I don't know, what would you call that? The Sentinel destroyer or the Sentinel
Dreadnought,
battle
I've always thought of it
dreadnought?
as a sort
That's a
of
good enough name.
1950s dreadnought. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's that sort of vision of the future, wasn't it?
definitely.
Like
But I wish there was
yeah.
more varieties in that, and there were, but they were smaller freighters, and so that the slots were in
Mm.
there, and it kind of deterred away from even bothering with those smaller freighters, right? Um,
Yeah.
but now you can take a small freighter and make it a big freighter and have a different design, and that has really introduced a lot more to the game, I think. Um,
Yeah.
and they're not just fancy, garages anymore. We can warp great distances with them. I've seen
Yeah.
upwards of 6,500 light years, which is
All right. I've not
pretty
come
darn
across that
good.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is yeah.
Who in the post made a? Who in the cafe made a post? It was General Jaegers made a post about warp distance with his freighters, and he posted a little picture of it, and I was blown away. So yeah, definitely, it's possible with the upgrades that we can now
Yeah,
install.
he had all the S-class upgrades on it, didn't he?
Oh yeah, S class
Yeah,
all the way.
yeah. I haven't found one yet. I keep on getting mine in S-class modules.
Yeah,
But, you know.
yeah. No, yeah, I think you have to get them through the freighter missions. You
Yeah,
have
you do.
to,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I just
So
keep replaying the same ones because, as I found out, if you find an S-class one in a system, if you
yeah.
do a freighter mission and you get the end, you get an S-class module.
Well, look at
If you
that.
then do another one, you'll
Yeah.
get another S-class. The system seems to spawn the same reward at the
Ah,
end.
so it's
So,
spawn. Okay, very good. I
mm,
myself, I'm an algorithm watcher, and I tend to follow the algorithms of the game fairly well. And so that seems to be an algorithm where if you find that S-class freighter, you can farm that one pretty good,
yeah.
which is definitely something we'll take into account. Because I think it costs another. It's what 5,000 nanites each time we look for a freighter. I can't remember.
It's 5 million units, isn't it? And
Five
then it
million
goes to 10.
units. That's right. So
It
yeah,
doubles every time, but it
every time it
resets every
doubles.
day.
Oh, it
But
resets
it
every.
resets
Okay.
every day. It'll reset back to 5 million.
Oh well,
Yeah.
that's nothing. Oh, gee, I'm gonna start
Yes.
farming those
No.
things. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't forget your free one every week as well. So.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get the free one. I did get one of those anomalies, where you shoot
Yeah.
one of the comets in space there,
Yeah.
and that was kind of cool, right? I pressed the button and it gave me something. It was fun. I had a lot of fun doing the freighter missions, and I'm really really
Mm.
excited that they introduced it, and they more. Give us more. We definitely want
Oh,
more.
definitely. Yeah, we need a lot more than that. Yeah, definitely. A lot more.
Yeah.
Space
So,
stations. Yeah.
oh, absolutely. What it's been 3.5 years. We're
Yeah,
encroaching 4 years
it's just,
now of this
I
game.
know.
What keeps you playing all this time?
I just, it amazes me how quickly the time vanishes when you're playing it.
It does.
That's the frightening thing.
It does.
Um, it's just, I don't know, it's the endless draw of it because it's an endless game, I think. There's not a finite point where I think, right, that's it, I've had enough, because there's always something else you're thinking, well, maybe I'll do that this time. I mean,
That's right.
we've all been there. There's probably been a few times you think, yeah, now what can I do now? So you just sort of raise a save and start again, and it'll just grab you and suck you back in and away to go.
Exactly.
So I think because this save that I'm using with you guys now is not a save that I use very often anymore. The other later saves that I've got, I tend to use those now to try and get them all up to this sort of level. So, and I've gone different routes. The one save I've done a bit of piracy with, so that was quite an interesting sort of tangent to spear off on to see what would happen with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great fun.
Yeah. How'd it
So
go? Now, is that the tent where you ask for no help and you just go about your own way with the Atlas?
yes, that's the one.
Very cool.
And then every time you get to a freighter battle, you attack the freighter as well, and and that sort of thing. It's just good fun. It really is
Yeah.
good fun. Yeah, you're
Excellent.
friends with no one, but it does make an interesting experience.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit more battle oriented, and
Yeah,
that the game offers that, and that's what's so great about the game is it offers so many different styles of playing the game. Whether you're shooting pirates or shooting other people, or maybe you've got a friendly little battle going on, or who knows what. There's
yeah,
a lot of things that you can do, or maybe you don't even want
there
to
is.
fight. Maybe you just want to explore or build
Mm.
or whatever. There's so many things.
There's something for everybody. Yeah,
There is, yeah. And after 4 years, you ask yourself sometimes, like, wow, the time has gone by. What do I really like doing? And it changes for older players like yourself and myself, where some
it
days,
does.
I want to hunt a ship or a multi-tool, or maybe I'm building that day. So there's lots of different things that we do. Um, I know myself, I love to ship hunt, although I haven't done it in a while. I've been kept busy with all kinds of community activities and new things going
Yes,
on,
I
and
can imagine.
I must admit the community has kept me busy for a while, and it's one thing that's kept me going in the game is the friendly people of the community, helping others. I've done a lot of things in the game which have made it so I don't really have to work too hard to get things anymore, and so I choose to help a lot of other players. Maybe somebody needs
Yeah,
some spare cash or a couple of upgrades for their multi-tool. I got a couple in storage. I'll just pass them right on, and
yeah, same here.
yeah, you're right, and it's all about helping some of those newer players and ones that
Yeah,
are still learning the game, and you sort of see a pass of the torch, as older players, they get well accustomed to the game and they sort of not necessarily sink in the shallows, but they kind of lurk in the back row doing their own thing, and then the newer players show up and they start doing things and they're learning things and they've testing new science and things like that in the game. And it makes
yeah,
it very interesting as there's different players that evolve and revolve around the game and move in and move out. And the community aspect is something I've always really enjoyed, getting to know,
yeah.
all the different people. Um,
Mm.
I hope the cafe has been able to introduce you to a whole new group of people that
It certainly
enjoys.
has.
Yeah, and I hope it
It,
enhances the game and how you play it because that's the whole idea behind it.
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing about it. It does. I think we had a sort of an online chat about it. The fact that I was quite disappointed when I got back to my base in Unity, and sometimes to look up at the sky and there's no other bases there. It's quite a horrible feeling to think that you're part of a community that you can't
That you
actually
can't
see.
see.
I've got to
Yeah,
say, at the moment, they're there all the time, so that's
yeah.
really good. I'm quite happy with that. But
Yes,
it got to
there
the
was some
point where I
sort of
was
yeah,
yeah, but I got to the point where I wouldn't actually use this save at all because as soon as I went away from Unity and came back, there was nothing there, and then trying to get it to load back in was was a bit of a mare, to be honest.
It
But
was frustrating. Yeah, there were
yeah,
times
to say the
where,
least. To say the least.
I'd go around to try and tour around some bases, and I'd see one base, and I'm like, oh man, I know there's like 18 bases here, and
Yeah.
the servers was having issues, and I think a lot of it was because of the updates that they've been putting into it with crossplay, and
Yeah.
so on. And it's like only the latest bases that were built near you would show up, and then there were times where if you warp away and warp come back, they would all pop. But
Yeah.
it kind of defeats the whole purpose of, like
Mm.
you're at your home and you've got your neighbors you can all see. They've since fixed that. But yeah, it was frustrating for a while.
Yeah, it was
And
for
of
a while.
course we had that, the great article that Eurogamer wrote for us about us, and we want to put our best foot forward, obviously, and it's really hard to, promote Unity and everything when the darn game won't show you all your neighbors.
Yeah.
Um,
What's there? Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right. It's like, oh yeah, come to Unity, and you might get
Yeah.
seen.
See nothing.
But you see that's the wonderful thing is when you're in Unity, you're also part of a community that is not just in-game oriented, but it is also social media based. And so, we've got the Amino and the Discord where we also communicate and have chat parties, and we have fun on the media side of it as well. And that also makes the community that much stronger when you have a in-game hub community.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can sort of go back and forth and use the two to your advantage
Mm.
to hang out with your friends or see what's going on the daily basis. Um, for myself is that's sort of like reading my morning paper.
Yes, you're right. It is. That's
uh,
quite. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
actually prefer it because there's no bad news in Amino. It's all happy.
It's all happy and
That's right.
happy-go-lucky. Everything's fine. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, a new
Yeah. So,
multi-tool? Sweet. Let's go pick that up. Yeah, I love seeing all the
yeah, it
great things
is.
that people find. What's some of your favorite discoveries over the last few years? Like what are your favorite things? Is it like Diplos and stuff, or a ship that nobody's ever seen?
I think it's quite recent, to be honest. It's the Explorer that I've got on this save,
Oh, was it the
which
one you landed
was
in?
yeah, but it actually looks black. But
Oh,
it isn't. It's chrome. But for
very
some reason,
cool.
it always looks black, and I've not seen another one. I was quite happy because that took about 3 days of waiting for that to appear.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
Some of them,
it
eh?
was horrendous. Um, but and I also found an S class, a experimental, the Pillar of the Anomaly, which a lot of people were looking for. It was the white with the sort of spider web decal on it and the black crystals.
Oh, okay.
And that was a nice find. That took me a while. Whenever I do go back occasionally to check on it, and the amount of combos there uh, are incredible. And that's a nice feeling when you go back, and there's a lot of people who've been and said, thanks for finding it and all the rest of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's and it's hitting on something else that I wanted to sort of speak about is the fact that this game is so different to anything else because even in the weekend missions when you go to pick up your what was it this week crystal sulfide or whatever, people put combos down to say over here and all the rest of it. There's a sense of community even outside the community that you're in, and I think that's probably
Absolutely.
the biggest discovery that I've made is there is a game in the world that does that to people, and I think that counts for a massive amount, a
Oh
massive
yeah,
amount.
yeah. General Jaegers, one of the leaders here at the cafe,
Hmm.
he builds little bases on survival mode and other modes. At the community events, he tries to be like just off of the path so that it's not intruding in
Yeah.
the where you need to go to go follow through. And he doesn't really provide a lot except just basic needs like shelter because they're always the horrendous planets.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
basic first aid or whatever modules in his little thing. And he's got this set sort of design that he uses for the Unity Defense Force, and he he puts this little base out there every weekend, and it's little things like that that
Yeah.
really make the community of No Man's Sky unbelievably amazing. Um,
Yeah.
outside of Amino, inside of Amino, the people that play this
Definitely.
game, the members of the various communities. There's so many great people out there.
Yeah.
And you're one of the newer ones which have come to the Amino, which we've gotten to know, and we see new ones every day, and it's
Mm.
fantastic that we keep seeing new amazing people, and not just new to the game, but you've been around since day one, and you
Yeah.
just sort of you found us, and
Stumbled on in there. Yeah.
yeah, and well, that's the
Yeah.
beauty of the cafes. We
Well,
don't
it is.
necessarily
Yeah.
outright advertise. We
No.
let people find us because
Mm.
it's a kind of a natural progression and growth. And what you'll find is many of the things that you like to do or enjoy. The same people like the same things in this community. It's kind of like
Yeah.
that like-minded theory where like-minded people tend to sort of gather together. And the cafe is just full of like-minded people who love having fun, helping others, and just chilling. Because that's what this game really is. It's just fun exploration. Um,
It is.
yeah, and you can take it
Yeah.
lots of different ways, but in the end, it's meant to be fun. It's a video game. Um, and so, however others, take fun in that, that's all part of it, and we welcome pretty much all of it, unless
Yeah.
it's horribly toxic. But I mean, heck, that
Yes, you don't
rarely do
need
you
that.
see
No.
that. Rarely, but
No.
sometimes it happens. So,
It
but
is there. It is there.
of course, and it wouldn't be a video game if it wasn't, because you got
No.
to have everything, and this game truly does have everything. Is there something that you're still looking for? Do you have a want list of things that you still need?
Yeah. Aside from the space stations, which we're not going to touch on again, I would. I definitely think we need to see some sort of cityscapes. Not nothing huge on planets, but even derelict things. I mean, we might me and Mota were talking later on about, okay, they've got ancient ruins, but it doesn't really cut it to what could be there.
Yes, I'd like
I'd
to
like
see
to see,
more.
yeah, I'd like to see rivers.
Oh,
I would
yes.
like to see that because there's water, but they don't sort of just it just appears. I'll have, do you know what? I really like to see them do something more with the living ships because that was something that I was so excited by. Yet I've been strangely let down by, if that makes any sense.
I think
Because
because of the lack of technology that we can install
yeah,
in them. If we could put more technology to do what
yeah,
we normally do, like the economy scanner is a huge, huge one.
that's it. That was the first one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if we could put that technology in, we could sort of make do with the limited
I
sort
think
of
so.
design of them, right? Yeah, they've got lots of
Yeah,
designs and colors, but it's really all the same design. We could
yeah,
deal with that as a community, but if there's no
yeah.
tech, it kind of renders it a useless ship, and we want to fly them. They've got
We
great
do.
bonuses. We want to fly them. HG, let's
Yeah.
put some tech in there, man.
Put some tech. So we need
Yeah,
some tech.
that's right.
Yes. I was expecting more. I thought it was just a sort of introduction piece to them, and then it would
It died
sort of
out.
update on a regular. But it just seems
Yeah,
to have
we got
just
the void
vanished,
eggs and the space
vanished, and that
anomalies.
was such a trial trying to get hold of one in the beginning. I
Yeah.
mean, how many people got offline and decided to alter the clock on the PlayStation and switch it back on just so they didn't have to wait hours and
Uh,
hours?
I contemplated
Uh,
it, but I didn't because at the
I
time I did had limited time to play, so it was like kind of
oh
perfect for me. I'd play for an hour, put it down, go on to the next step the
yeah.
next day, and it was okay. But not everybody,
Mm.
had that option. And
No, I was a naughty boy. I did it just to get the end.
well, so
Loved
long
it
as
when
it
I
didn't
got it,
wreck
and
your,
then never used it.
so long
You
as it
know?
didn't wreck anything in your PlayStation or the game, and that's the important thing, right?
No, it didn't. It did. It was something that I was so desperate to get hold of. It was, the sort of thing I was thinking about. God, I sound really sad, but it was sort of right. I've got to get home. I've got to get on with that. And after the sort of second bit of it, I thought, you know what, I'm not doing any more of this. I'm just, I'm just going to go down this route.
Yeah.
Uh,
I really liked
and
the
then,
mission. I actually did. I really enjoyed it. It taught
hmm,
newer players how to use the coordinates.
coordinates. Yeah,
You know, it changed,
yeah.
yes, and they moved around and bounced on you, but it helped
Mm,
learn how to triangulate yourself.
Yeah.
It made you do that. I mean, there was a lot of experienced players like yourself and myself, and we know what we're doing. We're like, yeah, just give us the damn coordinates, man. Quit bouncing around. But if you don't know how to find them and follow them and pinpoint that exact position,
Mm.
it can be
Yeah.
right. For a newer player, that
Oh,
can
it
be
kept
tough.
frustrating.
That's
Yeah,
right. And so
completely.
they try to give us that learning curve by doing
Mm.
the triangulation where it changes. So it takes you one place, okay, you there, now it changes. We're like, well, why did you? Well, if you follow it on a map on your movements or what you're doing, it's actually triangulating for you.
Mm.
And that's what HG tried to do, was to teach the
Yeah.
players how to do that, which is very cool. Very cool. I like that. In the beginning, if you remember, they didn't have much of a tutorial to the game.
There
Um,
was nothing, was there? I think that was
Nothing.
a major issue of it. There was nothing.
I loved the fact there was no tutorial, and it
Mm.
gave me, the ability to. I started out checking out YouTube streamers and Twitch streamers, and I
Right.
would help them on stream. That's how I started
Oh.
helping people and finding the community, was using the streamers, um, and helping them and newer players.
Yeah.
That's how we learned back in the day, was we'd share
Mm.
our knowledge through streaming, and that was a lot of fun back then. And slowly I migrated to Amino myself. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Did
Yeah,
you
I think
use a lot of the streaming for your advantage, or did you stream it all yourself?
streamed it all myself. Just got on with it as much as possible. I've got to be honest, the coordinates were a nightmare. And I can thank uh, Zane from Zane's World have pointed out that sort of euphoric moment where you do the second one first because the first one is just north or south, and it all sort of clicked and made sense. All the
Yeah.
frustration vanished overnight. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think me and my sort of gaming buddy have kept each other going with it. He'll discover something and I'll discover something, and then we'll share that. So we've helped each other along. But as I said to you, it's just been great finding a community, um, and I think it's taken the game one step further for me now. From where it was.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the good old days they were. Yeah, I didn't used to take much notice of what was going on around me. I used to find travelers and just sort of try and sell them. What did we used to sell them? Was it nanites we were selling them? And they just give you huge amounts of cash for them. I think it was just
Yeah.
stupid things like, yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'd
right.
never ask them about where they came from. I wouldn't want to do that. I just wanted the money.
Yeah.
But of course, that was part of the game. So, being me, just totally blasé, yeah, give me a cash. This is great. He's giving me loads, and off I'd go.
Yeah, but
And
that's
then
what you
it's,
wanted to do. So you play the game in the right way. That's just one
yeah,
way you
but
can
I
do
didn't
it.
get any, but I didn't get any glyphs. So
Well,
I didn't get anywhere.
well,
So
there's different ways
I
of
mean that
getting
was the
glyphs.
fun part. Yeah, it is, but
Yeah.
that was the main sort of way to do things. So yeah, it was quite a long learning curve for me, I've got to say. Um, but that feeling when things start clicking is brilliant. So and I remember the first time where we had coordinates for uh, the multi-tools, the S class. I don't know if you ever remember that. You went to the coordinates were posted, and if you went there, you get the experimental, and if you reloaded outside, you get the alien.
Yes, I do
And that
remember.
for me, remember that?
Uh-huh.
And somebody had put a decoy in another part of the planet, which I took hours and hours getting to,
Oh dear.
and it just said, "Sorry, it's not here." I remember that sort of moment of disillusion, but and then it picks you back up again because as soon as I got to the other side and got my first alien, I was just completely this game is my life, and that was it.
It
That was
took
it.
probably years of playing before I finally found my first Alien S-Class multi-tool. Um, it's one of those things
Mm.
where that was one of the few things in the game that took me a while to conquer, was finding those S-Class multi-tools. It's a
Yeah.
different way of playing the game. It's a different way of searching. It's not
Mm.
like waiting around at a trading post, waiting for, that algorithm to spawn an S-Class. No, you
Yeah.
literally have to find them. You have to follow trajectory. You have
Yeah.
to know where you're going on that planet to at least find
Mm.
those minor settlements to begin with. You can't. I mean, yeah, you can use the cartographer and get the maps, and you can do a
Yeah.
couple of searches, and you might get lucky a few times, like I have, because that's how I found them on the planet. Um,
Mm.
or you can just warp around to a whole bunch of really wealthy space systems, star systems, and try your luck that way as well. But
Yeah.
there's an actual science to multi-tool hunting, and once you get involved and understand what you're doing, it does make it easier. But you've got to start doing it and practicing following those lines on the planet, the
Yeah.
ley lines, and the right ones, which I always seem to pick the wrong ones.
Oh, me too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading you with that, yeah, every time.
Yeah,
And
or
I'll
the wrong
always find a
planets.
plant with water on, and you just think, really?
Water
Really
planets,
don't need
yes,
this.
the
Yeah, don't
worst
need
for
this.
multi-tool hunting. As soon as I
Mm.
see one of those, I'm like, yeah, maybe the
Maybe
multi-tool's
not.
not so important anymore.
Yeah, maybe
If
not.
they, well, if they made it a little bit easier, or maybe there were structures underwater that we could swim to, that would be kind of cool that we could still scan with our
Mm.
ships, because at least those planets they would follow that same sort of ley line structure. But they're
Yeah.
just such a random thing with the ley lines on those random islands strewn out over across the water. They do make
Yeah.
it a lot difficult. I know you can ship hunt that way. I'm not sure. Have you ever found any ships underwater?
No, no, not come across anything to be honest of any worth underwater. I know a lot of people have. They've been very lucky, but
Hmm.
I've never come across anything.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you can actually scan for ships using the Nautilon,
Hmm. Yeah.
which I learned back in that mission so long ago, and that's kind of fun. You could scan for ships or whatever. They've nerfed a few over the years, but yeah, you can still find them underwater. I think that's really the only thing you can really scan of any worth under the water.
Hmm.
Everything else is just empty buildings or abandoned buildings. I think they need to do a little bit more with underwater structures. Um, but that goes along with space stations and all those other things
Yeah.
as
Well,
well. There's so much you can
this
do with
there
the
is.
game.
It's the scope is still massive, and you've got to take your hat off to them that even after all this time they're still pushing out these updates which are free.
Yeah,
It's
free
incredible to
is
have
the
that level
operative
of
word.
commitment. It's unbelievable. Yeah, but would you pay for them? I certainly would.
Yeah, I
You know,
would. I would. The
I,
entertainment
I,
factor that I get out of this game and each update
mm,
is just unbelievable. I'm not sure
yeah.
about you, but I have over 5,000 hours put into this game.
You probably doubled where I have, so I thought I was a bit long in the tooth, but you trumped me with that one. Yeah, amazing.
There's a
Goose.
lot of hours, yeah.
There's a
I,
lot of hours.
I can't say for sure, but I guess off the top of my head, if I add up all the different saves, it's a little over
Mm,
5,000 hours at least. Um, and a lot
good
of it
grief.
is exploring, discovering new territories, galaxy hopping. Um, I did a lot of galaxy hopping over the years as well. Have you done much
Yeah.
galaxy hopping? What's the furthest you've gone? Have you done the full loop?
Um, no, no. Woodlanger, I think, is about the furthest I've gone.
Bodolinger?
But
7?
Anglo, is it? I can
Yeah,
never
I know they're hard
remember.
to pronounce, right?
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
The mouthful one with a B, yeah. Um,
yeah, that's the boy. Yeah, that one.
I think
Yeah.
it's 7 something like
What was it?
that.
And I think is it Odi Wagiri or something like that? Is
Ottawagiri?
Calypso? I've been a Calypso. I don't know
Yeah,
where that is.
that third one, yeah,
Oh, that's the so
that's a
yeah. So
horrible one.
probably
Yeah, you're
it's
happy to
not good.
pass. Happy to pass through that
Mm,
one. That was awful.
yeah,
Um,
I'm actually
yeah,
spending most of my time in Islington though.
Isentam's
That's
beautiful. It
yeah,
is.
it's lovely. Really
Yeah,
is nice. Yeah.
yeah, I do like Isentam. I think it is the probably the best of all of the well, I can't say for certain of all the 256, but leading up to the first 90 or so um, galaxies, Eisentam is the best one. Like you look about the lush or the calm galaxies that are classified there.
Mm,
There, it's Idora Jung, Sud Zerbal, and so on and so on that go up there. There's a few. Eisentam so far has been the nicest, where the ease of finding beautiful planets, the
oh,
multi-tools, S
yeah, it
classes
is.
like
It's lovely.
galore.
Yeah.
Eisentam seems to be that big ticket place. If you wanna go there and have all that beauty and not a lot of conflict, that's the place to
Mm,
go for sure. It's a
yeah, it's
wonderful
definitely what I've.
galaxy.
Yeah, I've put a few bases down there. It is lovely there.
Hmm.
But a lot of people who day one players still, particularly around Euclid, there's quite a few people I know who are just still there.
Oh,
They're
there's
still happy
no
to
need to leave.
discover. No, no, they're quite happy. They know what happens when you leave and go somewhere else, that you've got to rebuild everything. So they probably think, oh, maybe I'll take a pass on that and stay here.
Yeah, although it's not that bad. A couple of broken components, and you can prepare for, a journey like
Well,
that. But
yeah, but you could know with the repair kits anyway.
well,
You'd
that's
be
kind of a
set
new
with them.
fun feature. That's right. I've yet to
That'll.
delve into that, but yes, we now have
Yeah.
repair kits,
Hmm.
and you could probably stack up on those suckers and be just fine without having to waste any
Yeah.
resources. And that's how we used to do it. It was carry resources with us and fix on the
Yeah.
fly.
Yep.
And so now it's a whole new game. I don't think you even need to carry resources, just a few stacks of those suckers.
Yeah. I mean and that's where the game is changing all the time.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's great to see. It really is. Can't wait for the next one, really.
Yes, the next one. I'm looking forward to it and what all that's
Mm.
coming. Um, that's got me excited because there's the hint of the incinerator that's there. So there's got to be tech coming for that, or at least where you can
Yeah.
buy it and install it in any of your multi-tools.
Hmm.
A little bug in the game, but hey, why not? That's kind of makes things a little bit fun where everybody runs around trying to find those multi-tools.
Yeah,
Um,
it makes it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, what other game would you? I mean, mine's crashed twice today on me. Any other game I'd have been right. That's it. I've had enough of that. That's the end of it. I just sort of think, right, okay, report problem, and
Move on.
reload, and off you go again.
It's
It's
part of the game, it
just
seems. Yeah,
it is.
the crashing is kind of part of it. It's like, well, how many crashes will we have today? And that's memories from when the game first
Yeah, I was
came
going to
out.
say. Do you remember jumping out of your starship and going straight to the planet? That was the norm. You
Yeah,
know.
or being launched into space when you jump out of your ship, and there's been
Yeah, they
some
should.
great moments, great
They
moments.
have. They have.
I have just about run out of time, for
Okay.
our recording here. So I'm going to ask you our last question, and I ask everybody
Okay.
this one. It's sort of themed based on what the cafe is loosely themed around, and that's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Um,
Oh.
and that's right. Don't forget your towel. So my question for you is, do you, sir, do you have the answers to life, the universe, and everything in between?
Um, do you know what? I can't remember what the answer is. I can't remember.
Well, first we got to know what the question, so we got to figure out what that is.
Yeah. What was? You've got me thinking there.
Hmm. Take your time.
Hmm. Yeah, it's going to take more than a bit of time, I think, to answer that.
Well, you know
I'll be
what? You can
honest.
get back to us tomorrow when we have our live
Okay.
broadcast in the screening room on Channel 42.
I'll do a bit of research. I'll get back to you on that one.
You know what? That's perfect because this will be a first that we've had on the show where the question is not answered until it's broadcast live, and that might start something new. We might have to do that. That's kind of a
Let's do
really
that.
fun
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Do your research overnight and get back to us tomorrow on that. Yeah,
Excellent.
let's do it that way.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We
Yeah,
really
thanks for having me. It's
appreciate,
been great. Loved
yeah,
it.
getting together with old school people is fantastic because there's so many great adventures that you guys have shared, as well. And hearing all those wonderful adventures, they're not all alike. They're all different, and everybody comes from
Yeah.
different paths. And it was a real pleasure getting to know you today, and I really
Yeah, it's
hope
been
that
nice
everybody
chatting.
else has a great time, on the broadcast as well. You're very welcome to take part in the live chat, and
Thank you.
we hope to see you there, definitely,
Yeah.
especially with an answer to the question.
Yeah, you'd have